Magandang araw! April Marcas po, ang inyong pretty ate sa Edtech Unit. Alam ba ninyo na may webinar o online training session ng Edtech Unit tuwing Sabado? Ang araw na ito ay nakalaan para sa ating mga mahal na kaguruan upang turuan sila ng mga bagong kaalaman at kakayahan sa paggamit ng makabagong software at applications para sa pinaka-epektibong paraan at lubos mapagpusay ang kanilang paraan ng pagtuturo. This is also a refresher session for our beloved teachers to enhance their skills in technology. Every Saturday, we will conduct webinar sessions for teachers about the use, advantages, and relevance of different blended learning software applications. Ang webinar seryeng ito ay magsisimula ng alas 9 ng umaga hanggang alas 12 ng tanghali para sa morning session. Magsisimula naman ng alauna at magtatapos ng alas 4 ng hapon ang afternoon session. You can watch us in our DepEd Educational Unit Facebook page, Educational Technology Unit YouTube channel, DepEd Tayo, and DepEd Philippines. Kita-kits tayo tuwing Sabado!
Magandang araw! Sir Wilbur po, at your service. Narito ang ETUlay upang gabayan ka sa inyong pag-aaral upang lubos na maunawaan ang iba't ibang paksa o subject. Ang ETUlay ay isang free online tutorial class na pinangungunahan ng DepEd Educational Technology Unit sa pamumuno ni Undersecretary Elaine Del P. Pascua. Ang programang ito ay hindi lamang para sa mga bata, kundi ito rin ay magsisilbing gabay sa mga magulang at mga guro kung paano nila ituturo o gagabayan sa bawat asignatura ang kanilang mga anak o mga estudyante. Sa kasalukuyan, ang self-learning module mula sa rehiyon ng Calabarzon at kilala sa tawag na pivot ang ginagamit sa ating ETUlay online class. Kaya ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Ihanda na ang inyong mga ballpen o lapis, papel o kwaderno at samahan kaming itulay ang pagkatuto para sa bawat batang Pilipino. Sama-sama tayong magtutulungan para malampasan ang mga hamon sa panahong ito. Halina't matuto kasama ang inyong online tutor sa oras na ito.
All right. Yan, welcome to our 6th week. Wow, welcome to our 6th week. I am your English tutor for today. Again, my name is Maribel Jaime Roque. Good afternoon, everyone. Are you all excited to learn a new lesson today? Well, I know that you are ready with the lecture. And of course, the activities that I prepared for today as we discussed our topic. Again, welcome to English 10 ETUlay. So, to all the viewers, please kindly share this video to your friends and to your classmates. And also to all the teachers out there, please also share this link to your students so they can watch and participate in our discussion po. Okay? Again, I would like to welcome everybody, the teachers and the students and parents who are watching right now, especially, of course, to the teachers of Mariano Marcos Memorial High School headed by the very lovely principal, Ma'am Consolacion K. Naanep. Okay, so let's read all the comments and let's acknowledge all the viewers. Okay, we have here CJ Acosta. Good afternoon po, watching from Ingid Ramona Integrated School, Angadanan West District, grade 10. Welcome, CJ. Thank you so much, Ingid Ramona. Ingud Ramona Integrated School. Marami talagang viewers from this school. Also, we have Julie Ann Valdez. Good afternoon po. Watching from Eden Integrated School, grade 10, ETO San Manuel District. Hello, Christian Paul Soriano. Watching from Basista National High School, SDO1, Pangasinan. Wow, Pangasinan. Hello sa mga taga Pangasinan dyan. And we have also John Rex Farinas. Good afternoon. Watching from Ingud, Ramona Integrated School. Wow, Mark Ryan de Guzman, Janel de Guzman, Soriano. From, again, Ramona Integrated School. Pareha silang dalawa. Thank you so much. And Joycel Flores Romero from National High School Annex, SDO Pampanga. And to Eric Vibas from Cebu. Wow, we have from Pangasinan, from Cebu, from Pampanga. Dream Rose Malayo. Yes, sabi ni Dream Rose Malayo. Just stay tuned lang kayo dyan. Ha? We will have great activities for today. May Labaw, Punong Bayan. Hello, good afternoon po. Again, from Ingrid Ramona Integrated School. Okay, so we have Daisy, Lean Kagawan, Montes Ali Marv, Shane, Eve Dison, Reds Onika, Bel Calaguas, and Erich Logroño. Also from Ingud Ramona Integrated School, and Bel Calaguas from Dolores National High School. Okay, all right. So definitely I will keep you on the edge of your seat as we discuss the topic for today, which is the critique essay. Okay? Abigail Fronda, good afternoon po, watching from Lalo National High School, Maine. Cynthia Ardiente and Jenny Karain Araneta. Good afternoon to everybody. Okay, so again, before we discuss the lesson for today, let us have our topic or review our lesson for our lesson last week, rather, which are the persuasive and the informative essay. Okay? So let's have question number 1. Ang dami nating viewers for today. Thank you so much. And I hope that you all participate in our discussion. Okay, let's have our first question. An essay is defined as a short piece of writing that expresses information as well as the writer's opinion. What do you think is the answer for this? Imelda Papa, good afternoon, everyone. Cynthia Ardiente, good afternoon, watching from Surala East Elementary School, South Cotabato Division. Keep safe, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am Cynthia. And also, I want you to keep safe. Everybody, please keep safe. So, what is the answer for number 1? Is it true or false? Let's check. Okay. The answer is true. That is correct. We have here Christian Paul Soriano. Your answer is correct. It's true. Eric Vibas, Eve Dizon. It's also true. That's right. Mark Ryan de Guzman. Mark Ayan de Guzman. Very good. Your answer is correct. CJ Acosta. Janel de Guzman Soriano. That is correct. Let's have number 2. Narrative essay convinces the reader about some point of view. Is it true or false? A narrative essay convinces the reader about some point of view. Can you please kindly include the number and your answer? So malalaman natin kung yung answer ninyo is for that number. Okay? Ver Campos Bernardo. 10 Calma. Okay, what is the answer for number 2? I can see answers now and let's check if your answers are correct. The answer for number 2 is false. Narrative essay convinces the reader about some point of view. Is it right? Do you still remember our topic about it? Good afternoon po, Paul. Watching from Luna National High School Region, Division of Apayao. Okay. Okay. Okay, some point of view, you convince narrative essay, you have the point of view. I think that is persuasive. You convince. But when you say narrative, you just give information, right? So this sentence or this question is false. And you're right, Melissa Cabunada, Erich Sofeja, that is also correct. Your answer is false. Shane Belen, okay. Montes Marvs, your answer is also correct. The answer is false. Now let's have number 3. When writing informative essay, you just need to focus on your ideas and never ask the reader's perspectives. Is it true or false for number 3? When writing informative essay, you just need to focus on your ideas and never ask the reader's perspective. Hello to Vladimir Villejo, Kang Yuju. Narrative contains magkakaugnay na pangyayari. Yes, that's right. You just present information, you just present descriptions, but you don't give your stand on narrative, right? You don't need to point out something. That is for persuasion. If you point out something, that is already persuasive writing. Okay? So, what is the answer for number three? Let's check. The answer is false. Okay? When writing informative essay, you just need to focus on your ideas and never ask the reader's perspective. You research on something when you are writing informative essay, right? So the answer is false, and you're right. Eve Dison, LPT, Eric Alcoron, Vibas, that is correct. Okay, let's have, and also Montes Almarv. Let's have number four. In writing the body paragraph of an informative essay, you need to provide facts and informative to cover the topic. Again, in writing the body paragraph of informative essay, you need to provide facts and information to cover the topic. What is number four? What is the answer for number four? Let's check the answer for number four. The answer is true. Okay. Of course, because if you're writing an informative essay, you need to provide facts and information to prove your statement. You're right. If Christian Paul Soriano, Mark Ian de Guzman, Eric Alcorcon, Vibas, Caroline Alejado, Eric, Sofeja Logroño, Ver Campos Bernardo, CJ Acosta, Janelle de Guzman Soriano, um, Athena Manayan, Vladimir Villejo, Imelda, everybody answered correctly. Cecilia Domingo, Arceli, I want to acknowledge everybody. Ang gaganda, ang gagaling ng mga ating viewers for today. They all answered the question correctly. Okay, and Mayet Eleda Aranas, good afternoon, watching from Inukbulan National High School, SDO Batangas. Okay, let's have number five. The purpose of persuasive writing is to let the readers agree with the writer's perspective. Again, the purpose of persuasive writing is to let the readers agree with the writer's perspective. What is the answer? Okay, Joycel Flores Romero. Good afternoon po, English 10 teacher. Wow, hello ma'am. Hello ma'am Romero, English 10 teacher from Tinahero National High School Annex SDO Pampanga. Hello ma'am, I hope that you share this link to your students. Very helpful din po itong link para po sa kanila. So I hope that you share this link to them po. So the answer for number 5 is true. Shane Belen, Christian Paul, Shane Belen, Eve Dison, Christian Paul Soriano, Mark, Ian de Guzman, Erich Logroño, Ver Campos, Athena Manayan, Imelda, Papa, Kang Yu Jun, Carl Ian, Matias Pascual, Alexia Antolin, Joan Cantor Carrera, everybody, you answered this question correctly, and that's good job. Mayet Eleda Aranas. Okay. Now, persuasive is to convince your readers. Therefore, it is true. That is a good point. Eric Alcorcon Vibas. Very good. That is a good point. Okay. Now, let's continue for our lesson today. Now, this is our objective. We will have a new lesson, of course, and at the end of the lesson, you will understand a critique essay, identify the steps in writing critique essay, and learn how to critique a piece of work. Okay, so we have three objectives for today. You will understand, you will identify the steps on how to write, and you will learn how you will learn how to critique a piece of work. Okay, now let us proceed with the meaning. What is the meaning of a critique paper or critique? We can say that it is a careful analysis on something. It is when you evaluate something. Okay? Tell me, do you think that it is common thing or it is a common thing? Or when was the last time that you critique a certain piece of material? And what is that material? Sige nga, kailan tayo huling critique ng material? And what was that material? Because if you will ask me, guys, well, I just did last night after watching a movie on Netflix. So how about you? When was the last time that you critique a piece of literature? And what is that piece of literature? Is it a movie? Is it a movie? Okay, let's check. Aya Katangal, Ten Kalma, watching from Digos City. Johen or Joven Gultiano. Hello po, English and teacher of Kasambangalangan, National High School Division of Cagayan. Hello, ma'am, or hello, sir. Ranay, please also share this link to your students. Athena um, Manayan, Ramona Integrated School. Answer ni Eve Dison, movie, ending po. Ending po, meaning siguro nagbigay siya ng kanyang idea about the movie. And Eric Vivas, yesterday after get asked to write an essay. Wow. Diba this is very common in school also when you're asked by your teachers to write something when you critique a certain piece of material, right? So this is common. Now, critic is or a critic paper is a genre of academic writing that summarizes and gives an assessment of a concept or work. Sabi ni Christian Paul Soriano, I had a literature analysis last time. It is a poem entitled Invictus, and I could really say that it is good. Wow. Okay. Now, the purpose of this analysis is to evaluate the effect or impression of the given work. This is what you do. You understand the work, and then you present your evaluation. And to be able to write an effective critique paper, you must also have a full understanding of the topic that you are analyzing, right? Now, you may again ask, is a critic essay same with persuasive and argumentative essay? Sige nga, do you think that a critic essay ay kaparehas ng argumentative? Do you think that a critic essay is the same as the persuasive essay? Magkakaparehas ba sila? Can you give your idea about it? Hello then, Micalia Laxina Gutierrez. Very campus Bernardino. I could really say that is good. Okay, so the movie, siguro na binabanggit ni Ver ay talagang maganda na kanyang pinanood. So you, most of the time, give your critique after watching a certain movie, right? You share it with your friends, with your family members na, ay, ang ganda ng pinanood ko kahapon. Ganito yung nangyari. Spoiler ka pala. Okay, so sometimes you give your point or your idea about the movie that you've watched. Okay, now, when we say, yan, you must understand that they are different or they differ in purpose. The critic essay is a writing that evaluates a piece of work and provide its strengths. Remember that. It provides strengths and weaknesses. Okay? An argumentative essay takes a stand on an issue. You give your point on an issue. Okay? And a persuasive essay convinces the readers to accept a particular point of view or take a specific action after reading. Okay? I just want to make that clear, yung point na to. When you say critic essay, you evaluate a piece of work. When you say argumentative, you take a stand. When you say persuasive, you accept a particular point and point of view or take a specific action after reading. According to Christian Paul Soriano, no ma'am. Oh, talagang no ma'am siya. Of course, Christian Paul Soriano. Argumentative argues about the topic. Persuasive essay tends to convince the readers. On the other hand, critic essay means evaluating and analyzing a literary genre or any material. Wow, very nice definition po. Very good definition, Christian Paul Soriano. And Lander James Pasqua. Good afternoon. Hello. Lander James Pasco watching from Ingud Ramona Integrated School. Hello sa mga taga Ingud Ramona Integrated School. Okay, so remember that the purpose for writing a critique is to evaluate somebody's work. It may be a book, an essay, a movie, a painting, or any literary piece in order to increase the reader's understanding about the certain topic or about the certain piece of work. Okay? So yan po we always give definition on these types of writing. So don't be confused on the different forms of writing, okay? Now, let's understand the steps on writing a critique paper. First is you need to understand your work or understand the piece of work. Why do you think it is important to understand the piece of work? Bakit kailangan nating maintindihan? Sige nga, why do you think that it is important to understand the piece of work before writing? Of course, because you need to understand the piece of work because from that point or from that piece of work, you will give your idea about it. You will give your how will you critique a paper if you don't understand the piece of work? So before starting the writing process, you need to understand the piece of work. You need to understand the material. You need to research and make notes on relevant topics related to your work. According to Eve Deason, you cannot critique something you don't know. And that is right. Katulad ng binanggit natin kanila, like what we've mentioned earlier. You cannot give a critic if you don't know the idea of that certain piece of work. According to Dream Rose Malayo, you cannot write about something that you yourself cannot understand. That is true. How will you write if you cannot understand the literary material? Right? Okay, let's have number two. After understanding the piece of work, now you have number two, write the introduction. Write a short introduction. In this part, you may introduce the author and the title of work. You may also state the main point which the author wants the readers to do after reading. You may also explain the context of work and provide a thesis statement that include the type of evaluation used. Okay? Christian Paul Soriano, understanding is indeed significant because how you will be able to create a critique essay without conceptualization. Correct. Definitely. Right. Christian Paul Soriano. Let's have number three. Write summary. Though this is not the focus of your paper, you need to summarize the entire work objectively. Of course, if you will write a critique paper, the focus is not to summarize. Hindi ka naman sinabing gumawa ng critique paper and then you provide a long part because of the summary or by writing the summary. The summary is not the focus of your paper. You need to summarize the entire work objectively. It must contain only the author's main ideas. The process includes stating how the author represents the original messages using the characters, let's say the symbols, styles. And this part should really be very short. I think this is really shorter, even shorter than the evaluation. Mas maiksi siya. Kasi you just give the important details of the piece of work. Hindi siya yung focus ng iyong paper. Right? According to Judy Cagas, you cannot give what you do not have. It's hard to give a critique without understanding the material. Definitely, Ma'am Judy Cagas. Jenmar Villamor. Good afternoon. English 10 from Dolores National High School, Pampanga. Good afternoon to all the students and teachers and the viewers of Dolores National High School. Okay, let's have number 4. Right? The evaluation. Sabi natin kanina, mas maiksi si summary kaysa sa evaluation. Diba? So this part must provide organized assessment of your work. It should show the accuracy of information, the clarity of language, and most importantly, the strengths and the weaknesses. If you will provide the weak part, ito na yung pinaka-importante, I think, because you will now provide the evaluation of the material. So you will now provide the strengths and the weaknesses. But remember, if you will provide the weak part of the material, you need to keep in mind that you have to have the evidence to support your claim. Kasi you will now give the negative part or the weak part of the material. So you need to explain bakit weak itong part na to. Bakit siya weak dito sa part na ito. Okay, you need to give evidence to support that claim. You should also analyze the success of the source in achieving the primary purpose. Remember, the evaluation part must also be entertaining to read. Okay? So, yung evaluation, dito na yung part na pinapakita mo na or you will show the strengths and the weaknesses of the material. Alright? Okay, good afternoon po. Watching from Lalo National High School, Maine, Mark V. Paking. And to Jericho Abon, watching from Alicia National High School, SDO Isabela. Good afternoon. And also to Adeline or Odeline Kudanan. Good afternoon from Dolores National High School. Hello to sa mga taga Dolores National High School. And we have number 5. Write the conclusion. After giving the evaluation, you now write the conclusion. This is now the closing paragraph. The closing paragraphs contain a summary of the overall evaluation of the work. You may include the purpose of the evaluation and recommendations for the improvement of the whole piece of work. In this conclusion, you now give your recommendation. What are the things that need to be improved? Anong kailangan niyang ayusin? Okay, you now give your evaluation and recommendation on this part, right? And we have number 6. We have here number 6 include a reference. And why do you think this is important? Why do you need to cite reference? What is your idea? Bakit kaya importante na maglagay tayo ng reference? Why do you think that it is important to provide the reference? Christian Paul Soriano, ma'am, in a critique paper, is it okay to point out the technical side of the piece of work that you are analyzing? For instance, pointing out the grammatical errors. Yes, that's right. Mamaya natin yan i-discuss. Very advanced naman to si Christian Paul Soriano, but that is really correct. Okay? It is also correct to point out. Later on, babanggitin natin yan. Hello to Maria Isabel Sobiron. Hello. Hi, Isabel. Watching from Bagong Silangan High School. And Eve Dison, to prove that what you read is reliable. That is right. That is right, Eve Dison. And also to Christian Paul Soriano. Reference will heighten your statement. And also, you need to cite your work using the APA form. What do you think is the APA? APA. What is the meaning? What does APA stands for? Anong ibig sabihin ng APA? John Mark Gilao. Good afternoon, everyone. Dolores National High School, Magalang, Pampanga. Ano ibig sabihin ng APA? You need to cite reference of your work using the APA form. APA is American Psychological Association. I think this is very common, or you're familiar with this, especially when you are writing your research paper, right? Okay. Now, that is right. Bel Calaguas, American Psychological Association. Very good, Bel Calaguas. That is correct. Now, sabi natin kanina, nagawa na natin evaluation, conclusion, and reference. Let's now have number 7. After doing this, are you done? Siyempre, hindi pa. Why? Because after completing the whole essay, you now need to proofread. Ito ngayon yung sinasabi kanina ni Christian Paul Soriano. Right? You need to proofread. Why it is important to proofread? In this way, you will definitely check or identify major errors like punctuation marks, grammatical error, and others. Spelling, lahat-lahat na. Ito yung sinasabi kanina ni Christian Paul Soriano. You will point out the grammatical errors, wrong capitalization, and others. You will do that after doing the material or after writing your critique paper. So lahat yan ginawa mo na. Summary, conclusion, evaluation, reference. At the last part, you now read your paper again, your essay or your critique paper. Then try to check if there are errors. Okay? Ito na ngayon. Okay? That's right, Shane Belen. That is correct. Now, after learning the different steps in writing critique paper, let us now understand the characteristics on how to effectively critique a work. Ngayon kanina, yung kaninang diniscuss natin, you identified how to write. You identified the steps on how to write. Ngayon naman, we will discuss how you will critique a certain piece of literary work. Ikaw na ngayon ang mag-check. Okay? Let's check number 1. How to effectively critique a work. Number 1, Danielle Lazaro is watching. Hello, Danielle Lazaro. Okay, number 1, the critic should be objective. In analyzing a piece of work, you need to consider the writer's performance and not your opinion, nor your personal likes or dislikes. If the critic is objective, then it is honest and it reflects on the idea as it was. The comments and suggestions should focus on the written work, not the writer. Remember, you need to focus on the written work, not the writer. Meaning, after reading or while reading the literary or the critique paper, your idea opposes the idea of the writer. You should not um, check it at that way. Okay? Kasi sabi natin, you need to critique based on the performance of the writer and not based on your opinion. You will refer to the sentence or the content and the narrative flow or the exchange of dialogue. Okay? You may also suggest on how to improve the essay, but of course, you should not suggest that the writer should be improved. Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na ikaw mismo ang writer na mag-improve ka, but you will check and you will suggest how to improve the critic paper, the essay, not the writer. Okay? May labaw punong bayan. That is right. It should not be biased. That's correct. Kasi you will not depend on what you think. You will not depend on your idea, but you will just point out the content, the flow, the exchange of dialogue, the written work, not the writer. Okay? Number 2. Sorry. Number 2, the critic should be flexible. Obviously, you cannot critique a work until it is finished. Sabi natin kanina, you need to understand. When you critique a piece of work, you need to be flexible and fit in the writer's tone. You need to fit in the writer's mood and technique. If you have your own technique, the writers also have their own technique. So you need to fit in with the writers. You should not focus on yourself as while you critique the paper. An effective critic is one that is flexible enough and can accept the concepts of different writers. You must be flexible and you need to accept the idea of the writers. Okay? Let's have number 3. Critic should be acceptable. The writers or the students should accept their critique. Ikaw naman na nagpapacheck, dapat tanggapin mo kung sino yung nagche-check. Yung mga taong nagbibigay ng komento sa ginawa mo. Okay? So as a writer, they need to believe in you. Kailangan maniniwala yung mga writers sa'yo. Okay? Na ikaw ang nagche-check ng kanilang written material. Because you are assessing their work. So they should believe in your qualifications. They should believe in your capabilities. Okay? Patrick Famanilay. Good afternoon po from Dolores National High School, Magalang, Pampanga. Okay, good afternoon. And let's have the next. Number 4. Critic should be comprehensive. The standards in critiquing a certain piece must be evident. An effective critique includes the strengths, katulad ng binanggit natin kanina, strengths and weaknesses, and how to balance them. The idea is that the critic or the critique must recognize what most needs to be improved in the material. So you need to understand. You need to understand the paper. You need to understand the material. Okay? You must recognize what most needs to be improved in the material or what the writers expect to improve. You need to point out problems. But of course, you must also suggest solutions. Your goal is clearly to communicate to the writer about how they can clearly communicate to their readers. Okay? You need to let your writer or you need to let the writer understand the material, what must be improved in the material, and how can uh, they can clearly communicate with their readers. Okay, you need to point out those problems, or you need to give suggestion to those problems. Trixie, good afternoon from Dolores National High School, Pampanga. Good afternoon, Trixie. And let's have number 5. A critic should be constructive. Commend the writer or the student if they deserve the praises. Minsan kasi ginagawa lang natin when you critique a paper, you just give the comment, you just give the suggestion, you just give the things that they need to improve, but you don't commend. So you should also be constructive. You need to commend the writer or the student if they deserve the praises. And at the same time, include what must really need to be improved. You need to remember that the main aim or that the aim of constructive criticism is to be constructive with means which means that the feedback that you will provide should be actionable. You need to state the point that the author or the writer will easily understand how to reconstruct their work, because after you critique the paper, they need to rewrite it again based on your recommendation. Okay, so you need to point out that the author or the writer, you need to point out the things that they will easily understand when they reconstruct their work. Okay? Danielle Lazaro is watching with me. Thank you. You are watching with me. Danielle Joaquin Lazaro, hello. All right. Is everything clear about our topic for today? All right. So we learned not only to write a critique paper, but also how to critique a piece of writing. Okay, to make it easier, yan, I provided an acronym for you to easily remember what to do when you will critique a certain piece of work. AIDA. I like this acronym. It is the nickname of my mother. Pangalan ito ng aking nanay. Anyway, the acronym again is AIDA. May Labaw Punong Bayan encourage them that there is always room for improvement. That is correct. So they will be motivated to write more. Tama? Kasi if you will not if you will not commend them, and if you will not encourage them, sometimes they will feel something, or they will worry that next time siguro they will not even write another paper. 'Di ba? So you need to encourage them that there is always room for improvement. Okay. And let's have again the acronym AIDA. A is for analyze. Okay? Analyze. You need to analyze and examine how to structure the critic paper, or how the structure of the critic paper is organized, and check the use of language if it conveys meaning. Okay? Letter A again is to analyze. Analyze and examine the structure of the critic paper. Let's have letter I. Letter I is interpret. So you need to interpret the state or and state the significance or the importance of each part of the text. You need to identify if they are organized and the relationship, yung kanilang bawat relasyon or connections ng each part of the text. Okay? So we have letter D, which is describe. You need to describe and give the reader a sense of, you need to describe and give the reader a sense of what? The purpose, intent, writer's intent. Okay? And the last is letter A, which is assess. And you need to evaluate and make a judgment. You make a judgment of the work's worth or value. Sabi natin kanina, you need to assess the material, not the writer. All right? So we define a critique paper and we discuss the steps on how to write one and we learn how to critique a piece of work. So I think everything is clear and everything is ready for our activity today. Okay? So just remember this acronym, IDA. Okay, so let's have the activity and let's answer number one. Hello, everyone. Are you still there? Hello, everyone. Let's answer number one. A critique is a careful analysis that gives an assessment to any piece of work. Kindly include the name, the number, and your answer. Is it true or false? Include the number and your answer. A critique is a careful analysis that gives an assessment to any piece of work. Yan, I can see answers. Okay, let's check if your answer is correct. Of course, it's true. Mark, Ayan De Guzman, Shane Belen, Eve Dison, Dream Rose Malayo, Eric Alcorcon Vibas. Your answers are correct. Letter A is true. Hello to Christopher Josh Ramos. 10 Calma. Abigail Fronda, Janelle De Guzman, Soriano, and Cynthia Ardiente. Your answers are also correct. It's true. Let's have number two. In writing the introduction of a critic paper, you may state the main point which the author wants the readers to do after reading. Again, in writing the introduction of a critic paper, you may state the main point which the author wants the readers to do after reading. Is it true or false? I can still see answers from number one, Janelle de Guzman Soriano, Cynthia Ardiente, Erich Sofeja, Logroño, and Erica Dayo Flores, also Daniel Joaquin Lazaro. Your answers are correct. It's true. Okay, now let's have number two. What do you think is the answer for number two? In writing the introduction of the critique paper, you may state the main point which the author wants the readers to do after reading. The answer is true, and that is correct. Your answer, Danielle, is correct. Erich, so your answers are correct. Okay, you need to point out which the author wants the reader to do after reading, right? Because after reading, they need to write again. They need to check and do something about the suggestions and the comments of the critic. Let's have number three. Summary is the focus in writing a critique essay. Is it the focus? Do you write a long summary of the piece of material? Do you write the summary of a long summary of the literary work? Is it true or false? Summary is the focus. Is it the focus of your writing in a critic essay? Number three, the answer of Eve is false. Dream Rose is also false. Let's try if it's correct. If your answer is correct. Let's check. That is right. So, again, Eve Dison, Dream Rose Malayo, Ver Campos Bernardo, Mark Ayan de Guzman, your answers are correct. Janelle de Guzman Soriano, it's right. Erich Sofeja, Logroño, that is also correct. It's false because like what we've mentioned earlier, summary is not the focus of your writing. This is very short. This part should be shorter than the evaluation. You just need to give the main point, the writer's idea, katulad ng binanggit natin kanina sa number 2, yan o. You need to state the point of the author, right? Let's have number 4. In critiquing an essay, it is important to state your opinion to the writer and base the written work to your opinion. Okay? Is this correct? Number 4, is this true or false? In critiquing an essay, it is important to state your opinion to the writer and do not base the written work rather on your opinion. Is it true or false? Number 4. Is it true or false? It is important to state your opinion to the writer and base the written work to your own opinion. Sabi natin kanina, what do we mean by this? The answer is, of course, it's false, and that is right, if reason. You don't need to base the material on your opinion. 'Di ba? In critiquing an essay or in critiquing an essay, it is important to state, to level your idea to the techniques and strategies of the writer. You should not check the paper based on your opinion, but you need to check the paper based on the content of the paper itself. Kung ano yung sinulat ng writer. That is correct. False. Shane Belen, Dream Rose Malayo, Mayet Eleda Aranas, and Cynthia Ardiente. Your answers are correct. Good job. That is false. Naintindihan ng ating lesson today. Thank you so much. Okay? So, hindi mo siya dapat ibabase sa opinion mo. You need to respect the opinion of the writer. Right? Let's have number 5. Criticism is to be constructive, which means the feedback should be actionable. The last number, criticism, is to be constructive, which means the feedback should be actionable. What is the answer? For number 5, the answer is, what do you think? For number 5, the answer is, sabi ni Eve Dison, is true. And that is correct. For number 5, criticism is to be constructive. The feedback should be actionable. Eve Dison, Mark Ian de Guzman, Erich Sofeja, Bernardo, Dream Rose Malayo. Your answers are correct. Janelle de Guzman Soriano, Jemar Antolin. Your answer is also correct. It's true. John Rex is also true. Cynthia Ardiente, that is correct. Okay? Jemar Antolin, yeah, that's right. That's true. Okay? So I think everything is clear, lahat na intindihan kasi your answers, based on your answers, they are all correct. You answered the activity correctly. So I know after this lesson, you know how to write a critique paper and also you know how to critique a certain literary piece. Right? Erica Dayo Flores, your answer is also correct. Okay? So if you think that this video is helpful, you can share this to your friends. You can share this to your classmates. To all the teachers out there, kindly share this video also to your students. And don't forget also, of course, to subscribe on our ETUlay page. Danielle Joaquin Lazaro, hello, your answer is correct. Okay? So, yes, if you want to review your lessons in school, again, don't forget to subscribe to the official Facebook page of DepEd TV. And of course, to the DepEd TV's YouTube account. And also, like what I've mentioned, to our ETUlay page. So, para ma-notify kayo every time that we have lesson. Good afternoon. Watching from Ingud, Ramona Integrated School, West District, Jemar Antolin. Hello, good afternoon. Okay? And also, you can check my YouTube account, Lala Roque 2829. I also provide video lessons about English, especially for the senior high students. Okay, and if you have questions about this topic or the previous discussions, feel free to send a private message on my FB account. My FB account is Lala Jaime Roque. All right? Thank you so much for watching. This will be all for today. Again, thank you so much for participating. Ang dami nating viewers today and they all participated well. You all participated well. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you again next week, next Tuesday, same time. All right. This is again Maribel Jaime Roque, your tutor for today. Bye, everyone, and have a great day. See you next week. Bye. Thank you, then, Eve Dison. Bye-bye.
Sigurado ako na marami ka na namang natutuhan sa ating ETUlay tutorial session ngayong araw. Tandaan, ito ay hindi lamang para sa ating mga mag-aaral, kundi pati rin sa ating mga minamahal na guro at mga magulang na kaagapay natin para maituloy ang pagkatuto sa kabila ng nararanasang pandemya. Patuloy ding sumubaybay sa DepEd TV para sa mga araling ginawang video episodes. Mapapanood ito mula Lunes hanggang Sabado, alas 7 ng umaga hanggang alas 7 ng gabi sa inyong mga telebisyon. Abangan bukas mula 1:00 ng tanghali ang iba pang aralin sa ating ETUlay free online tutorial session sa Filipino. I-like and subscribe at manatiling nakasubaybay sa ating ETUlay tutorial session sa DepEd Edtech Unit FB page at Educational Technology Unit channel sa YouTube at sa DepEd Tayo at DepEd Philippines social media accounts. Paalam!